Good morning, everyone. Oh man, it is a beautiful, beautiful freaking day. Absolutely amazing. And a little front came through, so it's kind of cool this morning, around like 65 degrees. The wind's really light out of the north. I am in Chocolate Bayou, and we're gonna give this a go. Some good trout get caught in here, and man, I've just had a hard time lately fishing. I just haven't been getting on them, and that's okay. Hopefully today will change that. Man, it's just an awesome day to be out though, for sure. I got Tom out here. He took his skiff out. I actually slept in late. I didn't set my alarm, and so he's been fishing for a little bit. But yeah, man, this just feels really, really good. It's a beautiful morning. Man, let's just get to fishing. All right, guys, we got a pretty nice looking slick right here that I saw develop. Went ahead and just paddled over, being real stealthy like. I'm just gonna fish in this slick for a minute, see if I can't get a bite. I mean, this thing just popped up, and compared to the rest of the water, this is a slick for sure. And there's one fish on right in the slick. Oh, he's running right at me. Oh yeah, that's a good fish. He's running right at me. There we go. Always follow your slicks, guys. Always follow your slicks. Nice little red. Nice little red. That's what I'm talking about. You missed and I foul hooked this guy. There we go. First fish of the day was a little red. I saw that slick, came over here. Sure enough, there was a guy ready to eat. Pretty little red. Pretty cute spot on that little guy. I'm sure he measured about 18, not a keeper, but man, that was fun to really finally get a fish in the boat after a long time of not being in the skiff, and then that one getting off in the last video. That was a solid red, but this is a great start to the day. I'm gonna let this guy go. And there he goes, takes off. Good release. Yes. Yes, that feels good. I caught that guy using the LaRue Salt Sassy. Still a pretty good little slick going on. Man, that feels good to already have caught a fish this morning. Man. The other, oh, that was a fish. Dang. Well, there's fish in the slick, that's for sure. All right. I love when fish give away their location. I really, really love it. Unfortunately for the rest of this video, my audio went out. So I'll be narrating for you guys. I was over here in this little inlet spot. The tide was ripping in hardcore. There were birds working on it, and I saw some really good blow-ups. This was the first cast on the spot, and I was just kind of working a bait, jigging it off the bottom, and right whenever it got to the boat, I noticed my line was just moving on its own away from the current. So I set the hook, and sure enough, ended up being a nice trout. It's been a while since I've caught one of those dudes, and you can tell my excitement in this next clip. Oh man, nice keeper trout right here. Fat, hungry girl. Because we're quarantining right now, and you know, the store's a little crazy, I'm gonna keep this girl, and I'm definitely gonna eat her. Man, it feels good to get a nice trout. And I'm pretty sure there's still more to come, because I'm seeing some bay blow-ups. Yeah, dude, this feels freaking good. I continued to fish that spot for a good while through a whole bunch of different lures, but didn't get a bite even though they were still blowing up. So I figured I would go through this little inlet spot to the backside and throw up into the current and bring my bait down with it,
like it was an actual bait fish getting sucked through this inlet. There's some crazy poles and everything all around, kind of sketchy with the current ripping in that strong. And there was one right in front that I didn't see until the last minute, and I actually got stuck up on it. As you can see, I almost fell out, almost broke my rod. Luckily, nothing broke, but it's definitely it was a kind of scary but funny experience just to get stuck in this little inlet. Not a big deal. I just raised the motor and pushed off that guy, and I was on the other side. So I continued to throw down south lure. I just find that they work. I was jigging off the bottom again. I was only using a 1/4 ounce weight, so it was staying off the bottom pretty decently. I was just kind of bouncing it and moving it through the water column to see if there were those fish sitting in a pocket waiting to ambush. And sure enough, that guy just hit it. Didn't even really have to set the hook. Didn't feel him eat it at all. And put up a pretty good fight, especially in current like this. It makes him feel a lot bigger than what it was. I was yelling at Tom to come over here and fish it because that was the first cast on the inside. Ended up being just a smaller rat red, but man, that guy did feel like a biggin with the current.
Man, it went from super nice light wind morning to now the wind is like pumping out of the north and like.
Well, if you had no idea what I was trying to say, because the wind started blowing so hard. I was recording with the GoPro in front of me, and it could barely even capture what I was trying to say. But yeah, the winds went from nice and light, and they just started pumping. Probably, a solid 18 to 20 at least, and that was consistent. So I went around to the front side of this little revetment to stay in a little more calm water. But the wind just did not let up after that. It was hard to cast. I couldn't feel the bottom or any bites just because it was pulling my line to the side. So Tom and I decided that we were going to go ahead and run up into the bayou system. So on the way back to the main bridge, there was a nice little protected sand flat that went down into the dredged barge area. And there was a pretty good amount of bait. It was calm. The winds were still really high, but at least being in calm water, it felt a lot better to fish in. So good bait action, nice little sand flat. It was a warm day. And then I decided to raise the power pole and just go ahead and start a drift across this flat as it went from shallow to deeper. I was drifting pretty fast because this wind was still blowing at like 20 miles an hour, so my lure started falling back behind me. But I just kept popping it along. And sure enough, I just felt some weight, set the hook. It ended up being a pretty nice flounder that ended up coming up. That was a very nice surprise for sure. And it's been a good while since I caught a flounder.
Dude, caught me a nice flounder. I've got a nice trout. Now I just got to get a keeper red to make this a slam day. Dude, I'm stoked.
Ended up going up into the bayou system. Tommy threw on a popping cork with a gulp. And as soon as that boat went by, his popping cork hit the water and a trout nailed it. So we ended up bringing in a pretty nice keeper trout. Also really funny to watch as he's trying to get this trout into his boat. The boat wake was coming by him. And you can see him struggle as he flops around. The fish just goes all the way around the outside of his skiff twice. And then he finally gets it into his skiff. Oh, man. It's those moments like that with a buddy where you just have great laughs spending time out on the water.
Oh, man. Talk about a fun day fishing. Tom caught some fish on his solo. I caught some fish on my solo. It felt good actually getting back on some decent fish today. I really wish I could have caught a keeper redfish to finish out that Texas Slam today. But man, it was fun just getting on some fish, catching some stuff, and the morning was absolutely beautiful. I was thinking about flying the drone when it was calm and nice, but I wanted to fish. And so that's like always the dilemma. It's like video first or fish first. And it does, yeah. And so today, I picked to fish, and it paid off because I caught some fish. But man, I wish I could have brought you guys some drone footage of this morning because it was absolutely beautiful, calm, sun was out, and as you can see, there's still some blue skies around, but for the most part it's gray, and it is stupid windy. We went ahead and called it. It's just that time of day. I think it's around 1, but it was just a fun, good time being out on the water. Well, thank you guys for watching another episode of Kagen Fishing. I'll catch you next time.